was happy that he could recognize my efforts, my contribution. So,
Ma, I know that when it comes to marrying a pastor, it's very challenging. All the all the days of traveling, all the months. Mommy, how did you cope?
All right, let me get the other questions so we answer them.
Praise God. The first question that was asked about divorce, like there are two ministers of the gospel that I listened to the story. One I read about, but I won't mention their names. So I learned that along the line, like they both were before when they entered into the marriage, they had visions together concerning the ministry. So, and one of them is divorced now. So I now found out that now to find out what caused the divorce, I learned that the man said that along the line, that first the woman was in support of his ministry, but along the line she started giving up, that she's no more doing ministry. So now they are divorced. So I want to ask that, does that what divorcing? Number two, yeah, no, it's still same question, like it's still related. So that does that what's divorcing like? And for the second minister now, for the second minister, I learned that she was in a relation. She was already in the man's house, so I don't know, maybe they were married legally, and the man was abusing him, was abusing her, and both physically, emotionally, and was not even supporting her ministry. And based on the story of the woman said that there was a time that she released a song, and they already told the producer that, okay, they put her name and the surname of the man, that so, and finding out that it was his surname that they put in the track, in this thing, the man refused totally, that no, that you cannot put my name, this and that. And because of that, they had to destroy all the music that was produced. So, and later found out that because of that and the way she was being treated, the father told her, even brought soldiers to come and pack her loads out of the man's house. So she left and meeting another man. Fortunately for her, the man is a producer, and eventually the man supported her, and now they are together and the ministry is booming. So now my question is that, like, in all of those, like seeing a man, you're already into marriage, and seeing that this person is no more supporting my dream or my vision, does it worth divorcing or leaving a person for?
Okay, I know I've said this before. I didn't have the plan of getting married to a pastor. I said it that I will never get married to a pastor. And the reason is because of the things I've seen around pastors while growing up. I believe that they don't have time for their family. I'd always plan, not even knowing that that's the direction I will go. Though while growing up, I diverted into another thing before God redirected my path. So while growing up, I've always I want to be a teacher. Teacher will have time, they close 2 o'clock. But I realized that it's no more like that now. So they close by 1 or 2 o'clock so that they can have time for their family. And I've always seen that pastor does not have time for their family at all. So that was why I said I don't want to get married to pastor. They are always this and things like that. But as God will have it, I got married to him not as a pastor, but as a businessman. And God was now using that to prepare me, because I remembered when I was pregnant of our first child, then sometimes he would go for travel for 2 days for business, and I'll be the only one at home. So sometimes I'll just sit outside, and my neighbor, when he comes out, he says, "Iyawo, sorry, your guy never come back." I'll say, immediately outside, yes, I'll just be crying. Because I'll just looking, I said I don't want to marry a pastor. This one said, he won't say one pastor of a thing. So God was using those periods to actually prepare me, because business will take him away for some days. Now, entering into ministry fully, I know that he's somebody that goes out for evangelism, and things like that. Entering into ministry. So I can remember there was a time that I traveled to Osun State for a program for 1 month. So I was at home with only remedy then. But I wasn't feeling bad at that time, because God, just like I said, God has used those periods to prepare me. It was not easy anyway. Even before I had, when I had Ayo and Ola, that you would not be around, only me carrying them. I remember when we were staying before, Ayo was just a baby. I'll back Ayo, carry Ola's school bag on my chest, carry Ayo's baby bag here, and I will hold Ola to climb bridge so that we'll be able to cross to the other side to go to work. All those periods, it was not easy at all. And the only encouragement that I had is that when it goes like that, sometimes he will just drop a voice note just to appreciate. And those things he might not know. Sometimes when I listen to it or I read the message, it will be like, when somebody pour cold water on you, I feel relieved. I feel that, yes, despite the fact that I was not doing so much when it comes to the ministry work he's doing outside. I was not involved. The one he was doing in Osun State, I think it was later I met some of them. In fact, some of them I've never seen my face, but I was at home with these children. And I was happy that he could recognize my efforts, my contribution. So, all those periods, now that I was talking about bringing honorarium just started recently. And when he brings it home like that, sometimes if it's something that we use for the family, sometimes it goes back into something that has to do with the ministry. So it wasn't because I remember something like that happened before when we were having, I think, leaders meeting, that somebody was saying maybe because of the money. So it wasn't because of the money. It was because God, number one, God had prepared me before the time, using his business to prepare me before the time, and the encouragement to show that. Because sometimes you might feel that Chimawa are useless like that. But those words was like, you could appreciate that's my quota to whatever it's doing.
For me, one of the critical roles of men is actually to nurture whosoever God is bringing to you to become better in whatever it is they do. The fact that a woman gets married to you does not mean that his life has to come to a standstill. And that's the mistake many men make. I marry you, sit down there, don't do nothing. You're making a big mistake, because this is somebody who has been very effective and active. So the first thing is to first of all recognize what is the role of a man. Is actually one of the roles is to nurture. It's also to build. We're actually builders. And I am conscious of that, and I'm aware of that. And one of the things I always want to do is, as a question I ask at interval, and at the time I ask, I say, okay, what exactly is it that you love to do? At the time I was trying to force her to do what I love, but she did not love the business that we're doing. We got a shop, a second shop, and I said, you know what? Stay here. And then she called me one day and said, that can I please request that I should be doing teaching? Here. I said, what? Teaching what? Is that why I got this place? Sit down here and sell something for me. Almost 2 years. I'm not sure we made up to 50,000 naira. So, he said he's not even sure we made 20,000. So she will leave and run to my own place. I said, what have you got? I said, I came to use toilet. I said, is there no toilet? She was not there. She was just there physically. Her heart was not there. You know, it was a mistake of my life. That thing she wanted to do, that I should have allowed her to do then, it's the same thing she was doing now. I said, Lord, if I knew, I should have listened to her to let her do what she really wanted to do. So one of the things you do is this: find out what actually is your passion for life. Men, we need to be careful not to force women to, they will submit, but find out what gives them joy and fulfillment. There's something I've discovered. Once you help them to find their own and give them room to carry it out, guess what? They will do everything you can to submit to your own. Everything, whatever it is, they will be ready to serve your own vision. So, does it mean that we have to do different things? No. But whatever it is that if my wife loves to consult, wisdom should tell you, if you want to live well, put everything you can together to help our consultancy to thrive. So when I discovered that, what I did was, we find out a place and all of them, set it up and say, okay, this is, once I did the setup, I just pulled back and said, this is your life. I can see that this is, she can stand and teach from morning till night without food. I can't. To expect her to do what I love to do, it will be frustration for her. So I say, okay, do what you love to do, and I can see that it changed everything. We've moved now from one point to the other, only God knows how many times. I'm a mover. I move from point A to point B. If I have not been supporting our own vision, it will be difficult for her to be part of. So the reason why that person will want to walk out of the marriage is because all my life, you have never given me wings to fly. You have never given me opportunity to fulfill my own dream. See, let's not deceive ourselves. Oh, marriage is not supposed to kill dreams. It's supposed to amplify it. It's not supposed to put dream under. It is supposed to, as a man, when you are coming to a marriage, one of the first questions to ask a woman is, what's your vision for life? And then do everything you can to, if my wife says today, my vision is to be selling cloth, you know what I'm going to do? I'll run out, identify where they are selling cloth in box. I will be the one that will be bringing cloth for her. Because if you don't do it, you think that's your dream, you will frustrate it. You now discover that she's not supporting me. She can never support, because her own dream, you have killed it. So that person that is singing and feel the man is not, the only thing you are thinking is my own. That's nothing but selfishness. And I usually say, selfishness, there is another word for selfishness. It is called wickedness. It's an act of wickedness to be selfish. Only you, my own, my own, my own. If that is the only thing you are thinking about, then you are a wicked person. And the Bible says something. There will be no peace for who? There's no, you can't enjoy peace in that home. So the mistake that person should make is that if I am the one and she wants to sing, hey, I will get everything together. If she wakes up tomorrow and says, I think I have vision to sing, the next thing you will hear is, album has come out. And this is the way it is. There is no need to say you want to share in the glory. Let it be known that this is. Let me say this. If you marry a woman as a secondary school holder, school start holder, that's what they call it. Even 5 years, or let me not, even 10 years, that school start holder still remain a school start holder, you are a failure as a man. A big failure. I don't care how much money you think you have. You are a big time failure. If in 10 years that woman cannot say, I have a degree, or I mean a degree, you are a failure. One of your sole responsibilities is how can this woman be better? If it is possible to be better than you, I just told you, I'm saying it so that she will also be preparing her mind. She's doing her master's next year. I've said it before, and I'm saying it again. She's going to do it. And I'll sponsor it. If it is possible, she will get a PhD before me. Guess what? That's my joy. The husband of a PhD holder. Don't you think it's fine? Don't you think it's sweet? I stand, Dr. Mrs. Don't you think it's sweet? I am a transformer. That's my name. I am a change agent. That's what I want to brag myself about. Not that you are the only one rising and the woman does not have a voice. That's what makes relationships sweet. As you rise, she's also rising. As you are shining, she's also shining. That's what makes relationship sweet. And that's so she runs her things. I don't meddle into it. I don't query it. I don't question it. I give support. In a way, she is the manager director of her own. Guess what? It was later I changed my own. You know, when they started, I took my chair, my own office seat. I took it to her place. I said, this is now your chair. I should change it. Oh, I said I have to change it again. So I took my executive chair and took it there. I said, now you are a chair lady. Roll like you like. So of course, there's something that I've learned. You don't increase by holding. You increase by giving. Of course, I changed. God gave me another one. They are just telling me that I have to. So I will remove that one again and take it there. I don't promise now. I'll carry my own come again. Eh? You will have it tomorrow.
Sir, my question is, there is this saying going on recently our age, and men they don't open up. They are more to like bend in their feelings. I would want mommy, sir, to advise ladies, or the mommies here, no, the ladies here, let me use the ladies here, that how do they go about it? Like, you have someone that is like, he's always in his feeling, doesn't really open up, though he does sometimes, but he's not really opening up. How do you cope with such person, as a guy and as a lady?
The lady is not opening up, right?
The guy.
The guy.
As a guy, you have an inside
That is not opening up to the lady.
And maybe Pastor should answer that. But let me say this.
And the lady that is not opening up to the guy.
Just like what the interactive session that we had this morning, talking about the men cry. I think you were not around. The point is that even for pastors, sometimes I notice that we'll just be moody. We won't talk. And somebody like me, I don't know how to really persuade like that. Okay, so when I say, I just ask, is there anything wrong? We will say no. And I just leave him. I'll leave him. Then if I notice that maybe it continues the next day, I may ask again, is there anything wrong? He says nothing. What I do is that I just go back, just like I said, I don't know how to, I'll just go back to God. I'll talk to God that whatever that is troubling his heart, because he's the kind of person that would not. The only time I've seen him crying once was when we were praying. We were in the presence of God, so it shows that it was only in the presence of God that he cried. We were praying. I know you have shared that before with the family, and we were just asking God for help, and we were just crying because it was prayer session, so everybody we understood what was happening. So he doesn't say that. So maybe because of my own person, there are some people that knows how to really bring out words from people, you know. But what I do most times is that I talk to God on his behalf. That God should, the peace of God should just calm his heart, whatever the reason is. And one thing I realize is that days after, he will be the one to say, how do we do this? How do we do that? This and this happened. So from there, I will know that, okay, this was what was troubling his heart. So that's where I go back to my home.
For men who we discussed it early this morning, men find it difficult to talk. We just want to hold it. And it's dangerous because you can burst. When men burst, it may go beyond what you can redeem. So what I think I recommend is sometimes the lady may not be the one to do that. That's why it is good to always find your own company. Have people that you can share anything with, whatever it is. He was talking about, somebody calling you for house. You must always have somebody. The Bible talks about a friend sticking closer than a brother. There must be one person, if not two people, that you can share with when it becomes tough. Because there are times in everyone's life, there are seasons when things become tough. I've been there at different stages. So a friend of ours right now is going through something very tough. It's not small, it's a serious issue. But there's something that he had done. We both spoke, shared with me, and then we talked. And guess what? I had to speak to somebody that I believe would be of help. We had a conference call, and then I could see that what looked so big is now becoming smaller. So when you find out that you are finding it difficult, and the person to do it, for me, some of the times when I just want to be left alone. Sometimes. Just leave me alone. Let me think through it in the place of prayer. Sometimes I just want to take a walk. You find yourself in some of those situations whereby you don't have the right words to express. The thing is so heavy that you don't know how to even explain it to the person. But there's a balance point here. For every lady here, there is a part you have to play. Because in relationships, I've related with him for a while. I have an idea. I may not know you to the point that I should, but to an extent, I have a feeling that there is a level of understanding. We have had conversations. I have an idea of the level of understanding and depth that you have. That is different from some other people because of the level of relationship we have. It's the same way in marriage. When you relate with a woman, the man had sized you up. The last time or the few times that he had discussed some critical issues with you, you are vomiting nonsense. You couldn't even provide solution. You couldn't even solve the problem. So at another time, when the man is in a fix, he just sees you as a no-go place. He doesn't want to talk to you because the last time I spoke to you, you couldn't solve the problem. So every woman needs to develop yourself. Trust God to help you handle issues when it comes to relationship. But for men, I've been praying about issues, and the response I got was, God said, go share with your wife. But I now said, God, this issue is, I'm talking about critical business decision, and not even family issue now. Issues that has to do with serious business decision. And God says, go share with your wife. I said, but God, My wife does not have the kind of level of intelligence when it comes to business that I have. I said, go share with your wife. By the time I get home, I say, you see this thing? Guess what will happen? When she speaks, I've not said it before. When she speaks, responding to the issue, and I'll be saying, oh boy, your head is not correct. What have you been thinking? This thing is not as difficult as it is. This is the problem. This is the solution. She just provides the solution. And I said, what? How did you come up with that? And the thing has been looking like a big, heavy stuff. So always think about that. Then find people that you can relate with. Don't keep things to yourself. Don't bottle things up. Share with your friends that have sense. But let me say this, don't discuss marriage, critical marriage issues with a friend who has never had a relationship for 1 month. You have been in marriage for 2 years. You are now expecting a guy who has never held a 1 month relationship successfully. He can't give you the right, he can't give you. I hope that has helped. All right.
Thank you. Can we give a round of applause to our guest?